overseas performance. Despite rough reviews from critics, the Emoji Movie opened in second place with an okay 25 million. It also picked up a week B cinema score from opening night audiences, so its total in the U.S. looks to be around 70 million, well behind last year's Angry Birds movie. Girls Trip had the lowest weekly drop in the top 5, dipping just 35% to take number 3 with 20 million. Its 10-day total of over 65 million is more than triple its estimated $19 million budget, so a sequel would be a safe bet at this point. Opening in fourth place, Atomic Blonde kicked off its run with a lower than expected 18 million, and Spider-Man Homecoming dropped to number 5.
against General Flynn when they leaked raw intelligence about him. Sarah Carter, CircuitNews.com is with us. Tom Fitton of Judicial Watch. All right, I think your last two articles have been massive. One is we've got an investigation into James Baker, who is the general counsel of the FBI, and whether he was leaking intelligence. That is a massive. And then now we have, on top of Susan Rice, Ben Rhodes as a person of interest in the unmasking investigation. And this is everything that we have been discussing is coming, and now it's here. Sarah Carter, tell everybody why this is so important.
Well, particularly when it comes to Ben Rhodes, Sean, I mean, he's an aide. We know he was a national, he worked with Susan Rice and others. He was a President Obama aide. This is not common for Ben Rhodes or even Susan Rice or kind of power and Brown even to be unmasking operate, but they believe they were now based on what the intelligence community has put out there, that there were hundreds of unmasking. A lot of them centered around Trump and the people in his circle, and they appear, because remember, these are classified, so they have to go through these documents and express the custody documents outside of those protected lists. But it appears that a lot of this didn't have anything to do with national security issues, and this is a lot. Don't have anything to do with it, national security issues or anything of that matter, but instead they appear to be very serious. It appears to be that they were unmasking people in the Trump campaign then, and people surrounding Trump, and looking at personal, with a phone call, email, things of that nature. So there definitely needs to be an investigation into this.
We saw
It's confirmed. It's political.
but you reported, it's on Solomon, a 350% increase in unmasking just during the political season. You've got to
From back in 2011 until the end of the presidency, what we did see was that massive increase after they relaxed the laws, and then a super increase during the election season, where a large majority of unmaskings occurred with from those days. And this is one of the reasons why I believe the House Intelligence Committee is asking for specific dates. With Ben Rhodes, very specific, except last year, from January 1st, 2016 to January 20th.
What about an early report when I first started interviewing you and John was that in fact during the transition that there was a Pfizer law that was granted in association with this and some type of other criminal warrant, but it didn't deal specifically with the president himself. Did we ever find out what those were about?
What we do know, and this is what we did know when we started the investigation, that there's a server off of Trump Tower that was connected to Trump Tower, that they went into the server and they looked inside that server, and then they immediately searched when they didn't catch anything. At least that's what we were told. And that is how that investigation went. So they went into the server, they went into a Trump Tower server, which was outside of Trump Tower. They viewed material inside that server and felt that there was nothing significant there and then backed away. So remember, here's a large secret of this puzzle that, are a mystery to everyone. We're trying to connect these dots, and every day something new comes out, and every day we discover something more. You talk about we're peeling back an onion, and I think that's the right way to approach it, because we're peeling back an onion layer by layer, ensuring that what we're looking at is factual, and what we get out is factual, and what they did is inspired, if it needs to be. So we look at this, we started out with Susan Rice, eventually that led to others, like John Brennan. We saw a lot of officials unmasking. A lot of these rules that were relaxed were signed. We have the documents, by Loretta Lynn, AG, and then by Brennan himself. We saw the relaxed rules at the CIA. We know that the FBI was conducting warrantless searches with the FISA court, which the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court, this very secret court, chided them about and said that this was unacceptable. Sharing information with outside parties, one which was a forbidden party. So there is more than enough here to say there really needs to be a serious investigation, and the American people deserve to know what is going on.
What's your take, Tom Fitton, and in all of this, where is it going to end up?
What was the tricky is
special counsel going to look at this? Because right now there is no other vehicle for examining these issues. And I don't trust Mr. Mueller to look at this. Remember, the first abuse on Pfizer that people knew about in a large way was the targeting of James Rosen, where they accused him falsely of being a foreign agent, short time in order to a Pfizer warrant. And who's FBI is behind that? Mueller. So do you trust Mr. Mueller, who is a former, who's looking to become FBI director, and obviously is still close to the agency, to look at what the FBI was up to under President Obama? By all reports out, I'm sure you agree, the FBI is doing stonewalling information requests about this issue, and they're covering up their role in this unmasking scandal and the targeting and who knows what related to the leaks related to all of that. And this ought to be the focus. In addition to the issues of the conflict with Mueller, is getting the special counsel to look at the serious crimes out there, as opposed to the unicorn theory of the election and the unicorn theory of the Russian collusion that is obviously the target of the day.
You know, Sarah, I'm looking at Russia, or, of course, Palace intrigue is the next biggest thing that the media is fixated on. Not the success of the president, but more importantly, not how the DNC operative went to the Ukrainian ambassador and met in the Ukrainian embassy and reported back to the DNC and to Hillary's campaign, as Politico reported. Not the Uranium One deal, which I think is the most outrageous in terms of a pay-to-play kickback scam with $145 million. Not the deleted emails, bleach-bit hard drives, busted up, recording devices or phones and Blackberries, or Debbie Wasserman Schultz's case. Not the general counsel of the FBI, not Loretta Lynch, not James Comey. There's real evidence in all of these cases, but nobody in the media seems to want to pursue the truth at all.
Well, this is something that, the FBI or anybody else with common sense would want to investigate. I know there are people within the FBI, good people, good agents, people that want to do their job within the Bureau, that believed there was enough evidence to bring a case to a grand jury on the Clinton Foundation and on many other issues. And so we look at this on its face, Sean. They're going after President Trump and basing this on what now we know to believe to be an erroneous dossier filled with lies, which we have been told by people in law enforcement, over-exaggerated. So they're using a dossier, or they use this dossier to move forward with an investigation.
Right, hold on the dossier. Yeah. Now, hold on the dossier. We've got bills to pay here. We'll continue with Sarah Carter and Tom Fitton, and a lot more. Congressman Trent Franks is going to join us in Arizona. Rightfully, he's outraged that Mueller's allowed to stay on as special counsel and say demand that he step down. And there's a law says that it's not really an option in anyone sent down to the bill that he himself must resign. Otherwise, it's a clear violation of law. So listen, I want to remind you, this is a report 92% of Americans are potentially putting this personal information at risk just by using public Wi-Fi. And the minority depending on public Wi-Fi to stay connected. And unfortunately, insecure Wi-Fi is easier than you think to happen to. And inside the thing is that
FM. I'm Storch meteorologist Kirkwood.
The rest of the world is important. Locally is your life.
Look at that.
Local stories. Relatives
Okay.
confirm the identity.
More reporters on the scene covering more local stories. Every time you listen, News Radio 1300 and 106.9 FM.
All right, as we continue with Sarah Carter with Circa.com and Tom Fitton is with Judicial Watch. You were talking about this Fusion GPS group. That's another thing that needs to be investigated. And you got this former MI6 spy, comes up with this dossier, got some of the information from Russians. And didn't he pay people for some of that information?
Yeah, absolutely. He paid people for some of that information. And another thing that is fascinating here is that nobody is looking at this as, if you want to look at a Russian operation, they were trying to disparage President Trump during the campaign. So it kind of moots the idea that it would be an operation to put Trump in office, right? And if you look at the history of Fusion GPS and the connections they have with Russia, and I mean, down to Natalia Veselnitskaya, the woman that everyone has been talking about, the Russian lawyer, the Maginsky Act and Trebizond Holdings, all of these connect back to Russia. So it kind of takes that idea away. Now, if they're willing to look at this erroneous dossier, the salacious dossier, as everyone wants to call it, as some type of platform to conduct an investigation. Sean, isn't it curious that with all of the information out there on the Hillary Clinton Foundation, the questions that still arise out of the Uranium One deal, the deals with Ukraine, on and on and on, there's not one special counsel or no investigation that we know of into any of those deals? If a dossier that's been now disproven is the reason that all of this started for President Trump, I'm just saying, let's be equal here. It's
That's
not.
so well said, and that's what I've been saying. Tom, you actually were able to, through Freedom of Information Act request, to get info on Hillary Clinton emails, again, top secret, classified, special access program information that we didn't even know about till you got them. Tell us about it.
Yeah, well, there's 22 or so TCI classified materials on her system, and now just today we found more records from Huma Abedin's email account, which was also on Hillary Clinton's secret system, where there was classified information on it. So she's getting and receiving, both Abedin and Mrs. Clinton are getting and receiving classified information, and it's coming out in drips and drips through the Freedom of Information Act process. And in addition, there's all this new pay-for-play material where everyone is going through the Clinton Foundation, who are big donors, to get favors from the State Department. So why is it now this Justice Department, after 6 or 7 months of disclosure after disclosure of more misconduct by Mrs. Clinton and her people, not taking steps necessary to figure out what went on here? You know, I think the White House needs to order the Justice Department to do this, because it is not going to be done. And it's not. You've got to wonder who's running the show over there. I think Senator Sessions, or Attorney General Sessions now, has accused himself after some Clinton email. So it's a double issue in terms of lack of leadership at the Justice Department, and Rosenstein has his own issues because he's implicated in the mess of the Mueller department. In the end, though, the Justice Department is responsible for doing this, and they need to prove to us, the American people, they've got to take us to his third checking their balance.
It's not equal justice under the law. And, well, you guys have both done phenomenal work. Really appreciate you being with us. 800-941 Sean, again, be a part of the program. We're going to look at all the legal aspects of this and the weak side of this.
Oh, come on, man.
Joe DeGeneva and Victoria President stop by. Quick break. We'll come back. We got an amazing Hannity tonight at 10. Tell you about that and more straight ahead.
Stay here. Stay here.
It's West Michigan's breaking news, weather, and traffic. And the home of Detroit Tigers baseball. News Radio, Big 1300 and 106.9 FM.
Good afternoon. It's 4:30, 80 at the Lakeshore, 86 in Grand Rapids. I'm Jean Goddard for Wood Radio News. Our top national story.
Of the two that were missing, we have located one. The notification will be made by the news office.
One person has died in an explosion in Parsons Flats at the Minnehaha Academy School in Minneapolis. Fire Chief John Fruda says one person is still unaccounted for. The Minneapolis Fire Department says the blast was caused by natural gas, and contractors were working on the building at the time. Authorities say 7 adults are hospitalized, including 3 with critical injuries. Our top local story, Michigan is among the 10 worst states for people with student loan debt, according to a new report from WorldCom. The financial site compared to 50 states and District of Columbia in 10 key areas, including the average amount of student debt, ratio of residents with student debt, the percentage of student debt to income, and availability of jobs. Overall, Michigan came in number 7, just ahead of Minnesota, and Ohio was ranked the worst. WorldCom says student loans are the second largest household debt in Americans, for Americans after mortgages. In sports, the Detroit Tigers beat the New York Yankees last night, 4-3. They play each other again today. Coverage is underway on our sister station, ESPN 961. Wood Radio News time is 4:31. Team coverage continues with traffic and weather on the ones.
Still sluggish on northbound 131 from a little past 36th Street up to the S-curve, and the 10 is tight trying to get out of the S-curve, and so far it looks like it's still further coming. Driving conditions generally good. Watch for the backup resurfacing between Kansas City and Sparta on 137. This report a service of Beam Transportation.
Watch it when we come back after Labor Day.
Stock market has reached an all-time on Wood Radio.
almost a 0.25%. NASDAQ and S&P just about broke even. The NASDAQ a fraction below the flat line, the S&P up 1. I'm Joan Dodger, Bloomberg Radio. Next news at 5 o'clock, breaking news all at once. I'm Gina Conduct on West Michigan's news, weather, and traffic station. Depend on it.
This is Michael Webster, President and CEO of Fusion IT. Recently, Fusion IT was awarded one of West Michigan's best and brightest companies to work for. This program identifies, recognizes, and celebrates organizations that epitomize better business, richer lives, and stronger communities. We are one of many wonderful companies making West Michigan the hidden gem we call home. In addition, we're truly blessed to do business in West Michigan with a team that is excited to be a part of our organization. Town Network, Kurt Irwin, and I believe our employees are inspired and engaged in our business. From exemplary service. Then as a company, Fusion IT will impact our community at our level and our employees' lives will be enriched. We humbly thank our dedicated staff for honoring Fusion IT as one of West Michigan's best and brightest companies to work for. They make it possible for us to do what we do best, deliver business technology solutions with integrity. Thank you and God bless.
Hey, West Michigan, I am Jeff Kresnick, the owner of Superior Asphalt. I wanted to thank all of you who have helped us be the industry leader in West Michigan. After 34 years in business, we still operate the old-fashioned way by honoring our word and commitment to you. We have built this business on dividends and referrals, thanks to you, our valued customers. Whether you're in the 7th inning stretch or the bottom of the 9th, you can count on Superior Asphalt to bring you home. We do it all from the pothole in your driveway to paving our state highways. SuperiorAsphalt.com.
Facebook's artificial intelligence hasn't quite become the self-aware murdering Hell 9000 from 2001 Space Odyssey. But there were reports the system was shut down when it became smart enough to create its own language and communicate with itself. But we humans are still in charge. Facebook artificial intelligence research had actually created what they called negotiation software, which successfully split up a list of items it was told to do. The intent is to make it so good that we think we were negotiating with a human. But the language the bots used wasn't English, more of a shorthand the bots figured out, which led to the shutdown. Developers realized they needed to add rules to speak the English language between each other, nothing more. And Facebook bots have not become self-aware, creating their own doomsday language. The Fox on Tech Intel analysis. That's not.
You're waiting. You're calling yourself. With traffic reports every 10 minutes on the run, good mornings and 4 times an hour in the afternoon. We keep you clued in to where the problems are. Wood Radio. West Michigan's morning news with traffic every 10 minutes. Weekdays at 5 a.m. News Radio, Wood 1300 and 106.9 FM.
Morning on West Michigan's morning news. If you're looking for a better night's sleep, how about 8 foods that could just help you out? We'll have the story starting at 5 on Wood Radio.
Holding them accountable. Sean is the answers no one else does. America deserves to know the truth about Congress.
At this point, based on everything, do you think that any laws were broken by Hillary Clinton or her lawyers? Do I think any laws were broken? I don't think there's evidence to establish that. Okay. Well, I think you're making my point when you say there's no evidence to establish that. Maybe not in relation to handling classified information, but with respect to obstruction of justice. And you got a pen here. I just want to make sure the record's clear about the evidence that you didn't have, that you can't use to prove. So this comes from the FBI's own report. It says that the FBI didn't have the Clintons' personal Apple server used for Hillary Clinton work emails. That was never located, so the FBI could never examine it. An Apple MacBook laptop and thumb drive that contained Hillary Clinton's email archives was lost, so the FBI never examined that. 2 BlackBerry devices, provided the FBI didn't have SIM cards or SD data cards. 13 Hillary Clinton personal mobile devices were lost, discarded, or destroyed with a hammer, so the FBI clearly didn't examine those. Various server backups were deleted over time, so the FBI didn't examine that. After the State Department and my colleague Mr. Gowdy here notified Ms. Clinton that her records would be sought by the Benghazi Committee, copies of her emails on the laptops of both of her lawyers, Cheryl Mills and Harold Mills, and Heather Samuelson, were wiped clean with bleach bits, so the FBI didn't review that. After those emails were subpoenaed, Hillary Clinton's email archive was also permanently deleted. from the Platte River Network with BleachBit, so the FBI didn't review that. And also after the subpoena, backups of the Platte River server were manually deleted. Now, Director, hopefully that list is substantially accurate because it comes from your own documents. My question to you is this. Any one of those in that very, very long list, to me, says obstruction of justice. Collectively, they scream obstruction of justice. And to ignore them, I think, really allows not just reasonable prosecutors, but reasonable people to believe that maybe the decision on this was made a long time ago not to prosecute Hillary Clinton.
All right, 24 now till the top of the hour. That was Congressman Ratcliffe. I think one of the most concise, hardest-hitting takedowns of Hillary Clinton and obstruction of justice I've ever seen in my entire life or heard in my entire life. There is a video of it. Linda, if we get time later, maybe we'll link it on Hannity.com, and maybe we can even tweet that out because I think that's just a great idea. But it is everything you need to know. Oh, we got Debbie Wasserman Schultz smashing, or her IT guy smashing hard drives. Well, at least hard drive smashed in his garage. How did it get there? Then you got Blackberries, other devices.
Fire.
Then we've got deletions, 33 plus thousands. Then we got BleachBit, acid washing. Then we've got, let's send these phones over to the FBI. And what do we do there? We send them over to
Watch out, the police in there.
Jeez, there's no SIM card in here. Now, Congressman Trent Prince of Arizona has done something that I think has needed to be done for a while. And he sits on the House Judiciary Committee. That's the same committee, by the way, for Norman, Comey, and Clinton, and others. And in fact, they'd be subpoenaed and brought in and talk about what potential crimes that they are involved in. Anyway, he sits on the Judiciary Committee. He's talked about upon Robert Mueller for his honor as the special counsel in the Russia investigation. And he cited very specific laws governing the special counsel, 28 CFR 600.7, interpreted even the appearance of conflict is sufficient for qualifying as a violation. The same code of federal regulations defines what constitutes a conflict, and that is a personal relationship with any person substantially involved in the conduct that is the subject of the investigation or the prosecution. In the same code, 28 CFR 45.2, the same passage's language is mandatory, saying the employee shall disqualify himself, not should. It's not a suggestion. It is shall. That means do. When you look at legal language. And he's in clear violation of law, but that's not the only issues that I have brought up, and that is the group of people that, in fact, Mueller is surrounding himself with. And that is, let's see, Hillary Clinton's own lawyer, who worked at the Clinton Foundation. We got, 16 lawyers. The vast majority of them have donated to Obama, Hillary Clinton, and Democrats. Significant amounts of money. Protectors and staff there, if that's not a conflict of interest, I don't know what is. I give Congressman Trump Prince a lot of props here, because I've been trying to get people's attention on this now for a long time, and Congressman, I give you a lot of credit because you're doing the right thing and you're actually following the law.
Well, Sean, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it so much, and I have to tell you that after hearing the opening that you did with Congressman Ratcliffe and your own it's really hard for me to know how to add a whole lot because it was so compelling what you've already said. But I'm just convinced sometimes there's two reasons why there's such a dual standard here. Because the dual standard is obvious to any reasonable observer. One of them is that our friends on the left have committed to rule or ruin, no matter what. They're willing to get their commitment to power is so significant that they simply do not hold themselves constrained to the truth, and they are intent, and they are committed. And unfortunately, their second reason is sometimes
forget about it.
We forget to speak the truth. We forget to tell it like it is. And I think sometimes we become sort of victims of all, and we think we are our own desire to look respectable. One part of the perfect example, Senator Sessions is a personal friend of mine. I love this man. He's a great man. But I think he kind of got kind of caught as a victim of his own decency, really, because he was trying to do everything absolutely ethical and step back from anything that looked, like there was some duplicity or some bias or some...
Hey! What are you doing?
And yet what that did is it put their hands in the hands of someone that was really, even though they worked in the other administration, an Obama holdover, that if Comey did special counsel, what Comey suggested was his reason for creating Leaks, was to try to create a special counsel. And so the president just kind of got hung off the drive here. And I know this president doesn't speak diplomat, but you've got to call things for what they are, and there's an injustice here that's occurring.
It'd almost be like having a jury, let's say there's some type of political issue, and by the
testimony before the Senate Intelligence Committee. Is that confirmed?
Heard that same thing from Sean. My background is engineering, and we try to stick to what we do know and what we don't know. And so I'm not going to speak to that directly, but I think it's certainly an object that should be considered. I mean, it should be investigated. You should ask the same way that should.
Now, we do know, we've ascertained that in a government car, in a government computer, and we have the Records Act, that James Comey wrote these notes after seeing then presidential candidate Donald Trump. That's a violation of law to leak that to the press, isn't it? Or a violation of the Records Act?
If to use the government's resources like that, I absolutely believe it's at least a technical violation of the law. But here's what astonishing to me. In open committee, Mr. Comey said that the reason he deliberately leaked, or caused this to be leaked, he used the term, to cause this to be leaked was because he hoped that a special counsel would be appointed. And then, surprise, that special counsel happens to be someone that is a very close friend of his. I've seen the excerpts of their conversations, the transcripts of conversations. And this is a close friend. And to suggest that somehow now that Mr. Mueller is going to be an unbiased or conflicted leader of this investigation, it's just ridiculous. It's just not possible. And no matter what a person might say, without attacking Mr. Mueller's motivation, and no one knows what man's heart, but any reasonable or even unreasonable person should be able to say there's clearly an appearance of conflict, and that alone is enough for him to be legally required to resign.
Well, I agree on all fronts here, and I think the conflicts are obvious. Do you believe if he doesn't do what you're saying, and you cited the law here, what is the penalty? And again, the law says shall disqualify himself. If he doesn't recuse himself, if he doesn't, resign, is that a violation of law that is prosecutable?
Well, I absolutely believe it is. And the strange thing about this, the Democrats have been, or the left has been so committed to this total politics of disruption here, where you could see a special counsel investigating a special counsel. And it's just insane where this is going. I said early on, that Mr. Mueller has given that reputation, and I don't speak to salvage his reputation. I truly don't. I'm simply saying here that there is a clear conflict, and the appearance of conflict is beyond contestation. And so he should, for the sake of the law that he says he upholds and wants to uphold, follow that law and step down. And I hope that somehow the American people are paying close attention, because
I'm not going to let it. I'm not letting it go. I'm not letting this go. I'm not letting Ukraine go. I'm not letting Comey off the hook, or Loretta Lynch, or Hillary Clinton, or any of these Uranium One, deleted emails, and obstruction of justice. Debbie Wasserman Schultz. I've never seen such corruption and obstruction in my life, Congressman. Never.
Well, the left is far better